You know what's funny? We love to say, I don't care about labels, but deep down, we kind of do. Because expensive things aren't just expensive, they mean something. They whisper status, stability, taste, even self respect without you saying a single word. Luxury isn't about price, it's about psychology. It's a mirror, not a price tag. It's one of those things that really reflects who we think we are and who we're still trying to become. So, today we're decoding the psychology of expensive things because buying luxury has never actually been about money. It's always been about identity. So, when you buy something expensive, whether it's a Saint Laurent blazer, a diptyque candle, you're not just buying fabric or fragrance, you're buying a story about yourself. Okay, let's have a little nerd moment. Psychologists call it symbolic self-completion. It means that when we fill a gap between who we are and who we want to be, we use symbols, clothes, cars, handbags to bridge that gap. So when women buy a Chanel bag, she's not just saying, I love this leather. She's saying, I am that woman, the one who has arrived. And that's not delusion, that's identity rehearsal. We use luxury as an emotional shorthand for how we want the world to see us. And how we want to see ourselves, honestly. Okay, and here's where it gets fascinating and a little dangerous. Luxury works on the dopamine feedback loop. First comes anticipation, scrolling the site, adding to cart, watching the unboxing videos. Then comes ownership. You finally buy it, you finally feel that rush of validation, but soon the high fades. Not because the item lost value though, but because you adapted to it, sis. Another geeked out moment, psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. It's why your first designer purchase felt like a milestone, and your fifth just felt normal. Or mid, as they say nowadays. So we should already know what comes next. What do? We chase the high again, only it takes something bigger. A more exclusive drop, a rare bag, a new it shoe. It's not just materialism. It's identity maintenance. Luxury becomes a mirror we keep polishing, hoping to still see ourselves shining back. Let's get into emotional luxury because this is where everything shifts. The new wave of women aren't chasing logos, they're chasing feelings. True luxury now is emotional regulation, peace, comfort, confidence. It's not, what can I buy? It's, how do I want to feel? A cashmere sweater that doesn't itch? A home that smells like serenity? Or a daily routine that feels like leisure, not survival? That's the real luxury most women nowadays are chasing. And ironically, that kind of richness can't always be bought, but it can be designed. This is where soft luxury lives. The quiet flex of choosing ease and self-worth over constant proving. Okay. Let's talk about how women experience luxury, because it's completely different from men. For men, wealth often signals power. For women, it signals permission. Permission to slow down, to choose differently, to not settle. That's why luxury marketing toward women has evolved from you deserve it to you define it. The old luxury said, buy this bag, they'll take you seriously. But the new luxury says, buy this bag because you take yourself seriously. It's a shift from validation to self-validation, and that shift is everything. Our relationship with expensive things often starts way before adulthood. Maybe your mom had a different perfume she wore on Sundays, or your grandmother had that one good china set no one could touch. We learned early that luxury was something to be earned, not lived in. So as adults, we subconsciously associate expensive with finally being enough. That's when you walk into a luxury boutique and they offer you a champagne. You don't just feel rich, you feel seen. Because for once, the world is mirroring back the version of yourself you always wanted to become. Now here's the kicker. Luxury brands are master psychologists. They don't sell products, they sell permission to belong. For instance, when you see a Dior campaign, you're not really looking at a dress, you're looking at the entire world. One that says, if you wear this, you get to live here. This is called aspirational branding. It's less about affordability and more about accessibility of emotion. The ad isn't whispering, you can afford this. It's whispering, you deserve this. And that's far more persuasive, don't you think? Okay, with that being said, luxury isn't about what you buy. It's about what you say without speaking. Your perfume says, I'm put together. Your shoes say, I respect where I'm going. Your bag says, I invest in longevity. Luxury is a non-verbal dialect of identity. It's not shouting, it's signaling. The woman who wears silk to the grocery store isn't overdressed. She's fluent. She understands that refinement isn't reserved for occasions. It's expression of self-respect. Let's be honest. Sometimes the price is the point. When something costs more, we typically value it more, even if it's identical in quality. Psychologists call this the price value heuristic. That's why a $400 candle feels more luxurious than a $40 one. It's not that your living room smells better, it's that you feel elevated. But here we go. Here's the psychology. Luxury isn't supposed to make sense financially. It's supposed to make sense emotionally. Because when something costs more, it demands presence. You light the candle slower, you wear the dress more mindfully, you treat the object like it's sacred. And by extension, you treat yourself that way too. Here's one of those things that people typically get confused. Luxury and class aren't the same thing, and that's where most people get lost. Luxury can be bought, class must be cultivated. Luxury is the outer display. Class is the inner disposition. When you combine the two, you don't just look expensive. You move expensive. Class is how you enter a room, how you listen, how you say thank you. Luxury may buy the outfit, but class is what makes people remember you after you left. So, let's tie all of this together because this isn't just about handbags and high heels. It's about self-concept. Every purchase we make either reinforces who we are or we're trying to become. The psychology of expensive things isn't about excess, it's about expression. And for women, especially Black women and women of color, that expression has always been political. Because when society tells you, you're too loud, you're too visible, you're too much, luxury becomes rebellion. It becomes declaration. You're saying to yourself, I am worthy of softness, beauty, of things that last. And ain't that the truth? Okay, sis, here's the plot twist. The most luxurious feeling in the world is contentment. To walk into your home, light that candle, slip into your robe, and know I already have enough. That's when luxury becomes sovereignty. When you no longer buy things to prove who you are, but to honor who you've become. Because the true wealth isn't loud. It's quiet, and it's peace that didn't need permission. Okay, so babes, the next time you reach for something expensive, ask yourself, is this for the world to see me or for me to finally see myself? Because the psychology of luxury isn't about showing off. It's about showing up for the highest self, for your taste, for your life. Luxury at its core isn't the price, it's posture. And when you carry yourself like your life is the limited edition, everything you touch becomes expensive. Bye for now. Toodles.